My name is Dr. Adam Sawyers. I'm a very below average powerlifter and an exceptionally good online strength coach. This is my training whilst I rehabilitate from a bilateral quadriceps tendon rupture. So basically, both my quads exploded whilst I was squatting 285 kilos, and now I'm relearning how to lift. So, the goal at the minute is get lean and shreddy, and then looking at trying to hit like a 600 plus total. So what that will probably be is something like, well, originally I thought like a 120 squat, 180 bench and a 300 deadlift, but it's looking like I'll probably squat more sooner than I will get up to the deadlift numbers, especially because of I've got a healed fracture, heel pun not intended because it is on my heel, in my ankle, which is not fully healed properly, so it's making deadlifts uncomfortable. Anyway, today's session, nice and short one. All we've got is incline bench, normal grip, not close grip. Also got a bit of a time deadline, but nothing too crazy. I mean, you'll see by the length of this video how long this training session is. So I've literally come out here and started. What I find is the more often I lift, the less of a warm-up I actually need to get warm. And the house is boiling today. It's nice and warm, so I'm physically already warm. So yeah, all we're going to do is incline bench, then front raises, and then curls. That's it for today. So what I've ended up doing this week is splitting my training days up. So the original plan is 4 sessions, but because of how my diary ended up, I've ended up, what day are we on today? Thursday. This is my 4th session of the week, so I'm continuing with the sessions being split up. I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest. So it's the same total workload, just over more days. Today, I'm not doing any knee hab at all, apart from just existing. This is because tomorrow is my hardest squat session of the week. So I want my knees to be as fresh as they can be for that. I don't want to carry over residual soreness and such. And also, the other thing is, this session is no longer quick if I also have to go to the gym just to do some leg extensions. Because that is a fixed cost, which makes it not worth it for one exercise. So last incline bench session, which was last week, did 80 kilos for a top set of 8, and then down to 72.5 for my sets. So what we're going to do is start with 80 kilos and see how that goes. So same vein as what I said about with the deadlifts the other day, if you go back a couple of days, is that I'm looking to beat the average work over the same number of sets. So it's cheating if you just beat the average volume by doing one more set, because obviously I could just do an extra set with 20 kilos and then that would be more. So it wants to be the average based on the number of sets. So last time, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 sets with the 72. I'll check in a second. So first set, 8 reps, 80 kilos. That's pretty easy actually. yeah, I don't think I'm going to bother dropping down in load. I don't know that I need it. This is going to look like a Dear Diary sort of situation. So it's actually bright outside. It's about 4:30, so it's still sunny-ish. All of our house is in the shade, so it would be better if it wasn't, but such is life. So, I'll tell you one thing that AC app is missing is an offline mode. As soon as offline mode comes, it'd be phenomenal. So how sore are you? 1 very sore, 5 not sore. I don't know if that just stopped the video. That was an alarm going off to tell me that I'm giving a presentation in 35 minutes. How stressed are you? 0. Well, not stressed. Energy, normal. Mood, normal. Sleep well. Submit. My score is 18 out of 25. So, yeah, my alarm just went off. I'm doing a presentation for a friend. So his program is called Master Generalist. So he'd probably hate it if I called it CrossFit. But it's effectively sensible CrossFit. But anyway, so the presentation is called Powerlifting for the Master Generalist. So got all that finished off the writing and stuff for that earlier on. I'll be giving that in about half an hour, which is why I thought this is a good time to get my training done whilst it's still bright outside. Anyway, set number 2. Nice. Still fairly comfortable. I wouldn't give that any more than an RPE 6 or 7, to be honest. More just get bored of counting that many reps. So this is bench session 2 of 3. So this session, the day 1 is the heavy bench session, where I've got the single and lots of sub-max triples, and then pec accessories. Day 2, which is today, I've got the incline bench and then front delts accessories. So this is the lowest intensity, highest range of motion movement. Then day 3, which would be in 2 days' time. So it normally would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday combined with the squat sessions, but because this week is split up, it's fine. So it will be on Saturday, and that will be the moderate rep ranges. So I think it was 6 sets of 6, 5 sets of 6, 6 sets of 5, something like that. It's like between 25 and 35 working reps at a moderate intensity. So I think working around 110-ish. So all I'm doing is building up the average volume at similar working reps by increasing the intensity. So I don't mean the intensity of how hard I'm working, I mean the intensity in comparison to my max. So what I'm looking for is I'd like to see this above 3 plates. Obviously, I'd like to. I mean 2 plates from a practical perspective. I would love to see this at 3 plates for sets of 8. I've done 140 for incline close grip for 1 rep, but, and there's a big but there, that big but is that it was on holiday and on bumper plates, and I don't know if the bar was 15 or 20. I think it was 20. You never know the validity of the plates. It's everything else. It's all a bit, was it really 140? I don't know. But anyway, 2 sets done. Next one. I accidentally logged the wrong exercise last week. So I logged it as cambered bar rather than normal. So I did one set of 8 at 80 and 2 sets of 8 at 72.5. So yeah, so this week I've already done 2 sets of 8 at 80, so I'll do 1 set of 8 at 80, and then this average is higher than it was last time. And like I say, there's no huge rush with this. I'm looking at building the average up, so rather than just pushing the highs, I'm trying to build up the lows, so the ceiling is higher. So like the worst day is a higher workload compared to what it would have been. This approach doesn't tend to look too flashy, but what ends up happening is when you do finally peak, you tend to get what seems like a huge PB, which is just because you've been staying sub-maximal for a while, so you've just not been showing off the new strength. Nice. So, yeah, just 3 sets of 8, 80 kilos, nothing crazy. Now we're going to move on to front raises. So front raises, if you've followed me on any platforms for any length of time, you'll know I love front raises as a squat accessory. I think they are massively underrated as a movement. So I like all the varieties: standing, seated, lying, laid on your back. So this circumstance will be on an incline. I like them cambered or with dumbbells. Don't really matter, it's just all of them. The progression I really like is over the course of a couple of training blocks, starting standing, then incline, then flat. The nice thing with the dumbbells with flat is you can go past depth, so you can go all the way down, and the transfer to bench generally is very good. So yeah, I quite like it. Somebody's just come to drop off a delivery and they just walk straight past the open door to go knock on the house door. So that's interesting. Well, to me, probably the least possible interesting thing for anybody watching. I've been noticing my energy recently is so much improved. Not that it was bad before, but I think a big part of that is I'm just not taking painkillers. I'm like, if I'm in so much pain that I feel like I need them, I've just done too much. The exception is sometimes the nerve pain. That just happens it can't just happen, there has to be a reason. I just can't identify the reason. And so for that one, all it means is that I just have to sit with the pain. The only time when I've kind of been like, I'll just take them, is if I need to sleep. But what I've been doing now is instead just accepting my sleep's not going to be as good and not taking them, because eventually you do fall asleep when you're tired enough. Whereas taking the drugs, that will have a knock-on effect for like a week or something from taking one dose, or for me anyway. That's what it seems to be. And it's just not worth the trade-off. And my energy is much, much better. I'm also being much smarter with my work, of timing my work blocks through the day and stuff, which obviously makes a big difference. I've been waking up earlier and earlier now as well. So it's like my clock's shifting, and I don't know if it's to do with the time of year. So as the weather's getting nicer, it's getting brighter. So that's 22.5 kilos for 6 reps. Not a lot, I think I've got relatively long arms for how short I am. It always impresses me when I see people doing this with a lot more load. So last week I did 20 kilos for 9s. This week, 22 for 6s. So I'm going to go 22s for another couple of weeks till I can hit sets of 10. And then 25, come back down and go from there. Volume wise, because I've got like a little bit of soreness in most body parts. That generally is going just before I hit it again. So that to me makes me think the volume is about right. And performance is also going up, which is like the most important thing. My body weight stabilised the last few days in the low 95s. So that's good. I'm obviously still not lean, like look at belly's there. I'm starting to notice my arms are starting to get leaner. Nothing crazy, but you know, like the bicep vein. It's very, very thin. I don't know if you'll even be able to see it. It's super, super faint. It's there when I'm doing curls in the gym with the good lighting, with a pump on. So that's good. It's positive. The only stimulant I'm taking at the minute is caffeine in the form of Monster because I just like it. I'm taking. If there's a chance that the supplement helps with my foot, I'm taking it. That's probably the best way to describe it. I've gone with like the nuclear approach of combination. Yeah, nuclear approach is probably right. Of overkill. Of I'm probably spending a lot of money on really expensive pee. However, if it helps, then I don't care. So I'm doing a very aggressive course of supplements over, so it will be about 8 weeks worth of doing it, to see how much that can help with the foot. I mean, to be fair, that could be impacting the energy levels. I wouldn't have thought so with the nature of the stuff I'm taking. So I'm not taking like things that would improve overall energy. I'm taking things that would help with bone and joint healing, which I wouldn't have thought would improve your energy in general. I'll write down a list one day, maybe, and, well, I've obviously got a list. I'll maybe go through that list on video one day. But I don't want to do it from memory. I don't want to say any wrong doses or anything. Because I do get asked this as well. Let me put it in a simple way. I will not be competing in any drug-tested competitions ever again. That's the best way I can say the answer to the question that I get, short of just describing everything, but I'm not going to do that. Right, so for these bench width grip, arms almost straight. If I want to do them completely straight, irritates my forearms. Horrible. I keep meaning to try doing skull crushers in here, just to see how they feel on my elbow. Historically, barbell skull crushers irritate my elbows, whereas normal ones, dumbbell ones, always seem fine. But even then, just doing 22 kilos, I felt that in my elbow a little bit. So nothing's changed on that regard. So that's good to know. It's probably technique will be part of the issue. But for right now, that's enough for me to keep not doing them as a main movement. So the problem is, I can just do them light, but then they're not as useful as I'd want them to be. So then I need to go heavier. And then the problem becomes, if going heavier makes them sore, then my elbows hurt. And that then means that I can't do as much benching or as much whatever else. So that's why it's good to know what does or doesn't irritate certain body parts that you have. So like I know, for example, with the skull crushers, behind the neck skull crushers standing, they seem to not be too bad. So yeah, anyway, this is the ASC app. So 22.5 for another set, RPE 9 for that one for me. Next up we have curls, just 2 sets. Nice and easy. So this is like the easy upper body session of the week. Tomorrow will be the hard lower body session of the week. And then Saturday will be the fun. Not that any session's not fun, but Saturday will be the most fun upper body session because it's basically bench, then arms, and I find that fun. I don't know what guy doesn't find training arms fun. They probably exist somewhere. I mean, to be fair, I find training most body parts fun. Legs, not as fun anymore because I can't just train them, just go and just train them. Whereas with the arm session, so I'm training biceps 3 times a week and arms 3 times a week, I guess. But what that means is I'm doing a moderate session on Monday. So on Monday, I was doing alternating dumbbell curls with 20 kilos. Today, I'm doing both arms with 22.5 kilos. So moderate, light, and then the third session it's very, very bro, and it's very just go hard on arms. So I might do 3 different curls and do 3, 4, 5 sets of each. I tend to stick to the same movements on the same session. And basically the idea of that is just leave with my arms feeling like they're going to explode. As I get strong again, I will have to be more strategic in where I place that volume. However, for now, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Although I'm looking at like a 180 goal as a bench, I'm not like, I need to do it now. I need to do it in the next 6 weeks, next 10 weeks. From my perspective, it would probably do my body better to be like, I'm going to aim for a 180 bench in a year than a 180 bench in 6 months, because then I'll treat everything with the approach of looking towards the future and staying healthy and everything else. But like the first thing, of course, of all of this is the body composition. Needs to sort that out first. I'm not like diabetics level of fat, but I'm not lean, and carrying more body fat and having worse insulin sensitivity will impact tendon healing and bone healing and function. So like here, there's belly here. This needs to go. I know you store fat everywhere. That's the easiest and most visual place to just show you. So this, I think, I would probably say I'm like 25-ish% body fat, something like that. So I probably want to get that down to sub 15. Anyway, we shall do another set. I also like these because I'm struggling with the range of motion there. So it means it's forcing me to stretch, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, the intensity is not high on these. There we have it. Done. I need to do the thumbnail picture. Always it gets more clicks when I'm stood posing. Which makes sense. So from my light research into YouTube, it seems it's the thumbnail, the title, and the first 30 seconds of the video which dictate the success of the video. Now these videos, I started going to the effort of editing them and editing the beginning, but I only did that for a couple of weeks. And then I found that the time that was taking was time I could have spent just training. So instead, I'm doing these a lot less edited now. So literally just uncut. I'm going to start, I think, if I train at midday-ish or a bit after midday, the gym's quieter, so then filming shouldn't be so bad. But on an evening now, when I go there then, not a chance, it's too busy. Which is great for the gym, it's great for the business, it means the gym's going to stay open, which is a good thing, because then I've got somewhere else to train. But anyway, that should be it for today. I'll see you, well, tomorrow I'm training, but it's at the gym. So either I'll film at the gym, or I'll overlay the videos on Saturday's training when I'm back in here benching. Take care.